everyone, Bethany here, and thanks for joining in today. I am going to be playing with this adorable pink Christmas digital kit from Tailor Made Cards for You. And I resized a few of the ephemera and put my favorites all in one sheet and blew up a few of the smaller pages because I want to work with them a little bit and see what I can come up with. So I'm going to go ahead and start chopping off screen and we'll see where we land. For this first card, I'm going to keep things fairly simple. I have cut down it's an odd shape. It's actually 4.5 by 6 1/4, and so I took a 1/4 inch off and cut down the larger Merry Christmas white distressed background. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to shadow the edging, and I'm going to bring in a little green with the iced spruce. It's a grayish green, and I am just adding a basic shadow. It's not going to do a whole lot, but it's going to turn the white edging of my cardstock into a shadow instead. And I'm going to bring in a little bit more on the corners. Now I'm going to take the iced spruce again, and I'm just going to ink blend the edges as carefully as possible, just to give a little bit shadow on the edges of the ephemera I'm going to use. Also because I didn't have such a pretty fussy cut, so I have to hide a little bit of that, but I don't want, so I want a softer distress and shadow, so that's why I'm using a brush instead of using the pad directly. The pad will give more streaky lines, and I am just looking for a subtle blended in shadow instead, just to cover up my little faux pas and also give that vignette look on each of the ephemera. That's why ink distress oxides are amazing, because you can do that blending and shadowing really nicely without overdoing the color on it, especially with the more neutral tones. So I am going to just assemble these simple cards, and actually I want to bring a little bit of the vignette in too here before I do that. Oops. I'm leaving a line on my actual card base. Great. Outtakes, anybody? All right. So just taking the rest of what's on my mat. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the Barely Art Glue and assemble these. This card will be very quick to assemble because there isn't much to it. Simple wins the day. Now, because I want to layer these ephemera just a hair off of the card base, I'm going to line them up first so I see what they look like. Glue this one. I'm going to go ahead and cut off 3 pieces of foam tape with my junky scissors and add the poinsettia to the card base. And there is a simple yet very cute pink Christmas card. And this card base comes from the Cricut pre-made card bases. Now I have a piece of pale pink paper in my Stamparatus, and I'm going to use the Maker Forte Jess Francisco Build Your Own Christmas stamp set. I'm choosing to use this pretty wreath, and then I'm going to build it up. So what I'm going to do is actually use the Distress Oxide Evergreen Bough. I originally stamped it out in black, didn't like it because I put it in and the middle messed up and stamped too. So now I'm going to just add a little texture by brushing in the Distress Oxide. And then, because I noticed when I smushed it, the middle colored it green, I'm going to just use a paper towel here and get some of the color off of the middle so you don't see it when I stamp it out with the smusher. Then using my Maker Forte smusher. And because that made it more of a watercolor look, I'm going to do that again. I'm really just trying to get the top of the wreath a little darker. And then I'm going to use the brush again and brush out the base of the wreath again, leaving some texture lines. And then using the smusher again, get a really good impression. And it's still slightly distressed, but I'm digging it. Now I'm going to add a little bit of snow, and I'm actually going to be a little unconventional and use a blue color. I don't know what about Christmas, blue and pink just seems to go really nicely together. And I am going to lightly rub that on, hoping to get a little bit of texture again. Super cute. I love it. All right, now what I'm going to do is I am going to add May Your Days Be and Merry and Bright. Sometimes it's difficult to line it up when you don't have lines, but I mostly eyeball those things. And I am going to stamp it up with the Picked Raspberry Distress Oxide. It's a super bright pink, and I just going to let that color pop off the page. Smushing it again. Super cute. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and leave it as is. Originally I was thinking I would emboss it, but I like that it's a little bit distressed and subtle, but super cute. And this could just be a simple card base on its own, but now that it's dried a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut it out. And part of when you do these bows, I'm not going to follow the exact lines, but I'm just going to wave my paper just a little bit to give the impression of multiple textures happening, or multiple spikes happening. But I'm not going to go super intricate. I'm doing the same at the top of these bows. Bows. The same thing in my brain. All right, now I am going to put this up here, but I want a little something to tie it in together. So I am going to make a little strip of pink happen. And I'm going to go ahead and use this small tiny brush, and I am just going to add a vignette of that darker pink to the edge of this strip. Going to be a little darker here and a little lighter towards the middle. And because it's getting mostly covered, I'm just going to be a little less fancy about that middle part. So now I'm going to go ahead and assemble using glue on the back. And for this one, I'm making sure that the bows are angled down. When I first put this down, when I was playing around with the different looks, I put the bows facing up, and I was like, this doesn't look right. And then my little band created here. I'm going to pop this up on foam tape again, just to raise it off a little bit. And then I'm going to add a little clear glitter Maker's Magic for a Maker Forte on a couple of these bows. I just really want to accent a little bit of what's happening here. I'm going to do a super light layer, but basically there's what looks like a little golden glitter toy tied in with the bows, and so I'm just accenting a few of those. I'm also going to do the same for a few pieces of snow, just giving a little glossy accent right over the top, glossy and glittery accent. And I'm even going to do it at the tips of this bow here, or this band, at the tips of the band, there we go. And a little bit in the bows as well, just to marry all of those different colors together. It helps to have something to pull it all together, unify it, make it seem like it makes sense. A couple more. There we go. there is the glossy, glittery, super adorable card number 2. This next one, I'm going to use the Not Too Shabby Shop's October Stamp and Die of the Month. When I first saw this and I knew that it was coming out and I knew about the Pink Christmas, I knew I had to at least try to do one card with these two combined together. I just thought they would be so cute together. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp out my little lady and also the sentiment right off the bat. And I'm going to use the Black Soot Distress Oxide. Probably going to need a few stampings because there is a lot of fine detail on the stamp itself. So I really, really hope it works. And I mostly just missed stuff in the middle, so otherwise it's stamped pretty good right off the bat. And I am going to go ahead and emboss it with the Holographic embossing powder, just to give it that little glimmer, glitz, and shine to it. I did not use my anti-static tool at all, even though it's staring me down right now. One day I'll get the hang of it. But this just adds that little bit of wow to black lines before you do any kind of coloring. So let me heat it up on the highest heat from behind. I'm going through and just popping these through my Cuttlebug real quick to die cut them out. I am going to be working strictly from the skin colored Ohuhu brush markers. I have this little strip of white so I can test out the colors I'm using. And I'm very lightly brushing in. I'm not doing a full coverage just because I know that for alcohol inks especially, the alcohol spreads out just a hair as you're putting it down. So lighter strokes is generally what's going to get you the best results. And then I want the dress itself to be a nice pink blush. So I'm going to do the same thing again. It's not a super pinky pink. It's more of an orange pink, but it lays down nicely with all of the texture that is in this stamp itself. And it's just gorgeous. But I'm going to do that same light brush stroke technique, letting the alcohol ink fill in so I'm not being so heavy-handed. And you can always come back later if you ever see that there are parts that, oh, that white is just too stark. Because sometimes the absence of color is its own texturing technique as well. So that's my aim for this. When you have a stamp this detailed, when you add too much highlight and shadow, you can get a muddled look sometimes, especially when working with alcohol inks, and I'm not trying to get that look. Now I'm doing a little circling to fill in the volume of the bottom of that skirt, just because I don't want to accidentally go over the edge and it becomes super noticeable. But also I'm following the flow of what a real skirt would be, color-wise. So there's little bits of lighter and whiter areas that become their own highlight by doing that light brush on technique. Let's give her hair some color. I'm going to use the cadmium yellow. Same thing again, light taps. It's kind of a reddish blonde hair, but she is super gorgeous. I really love it. So it's now a pink on pink design. And to keep in the mode of pink, we're going to add some pink on the edge with what's left over of the previous card. It's left over on the brush. I'm not re-inking. I don't want it super stark. Just a subtle pink added. Now I'm going to go ahead and assemble the card again. I have the base, which is, it looks kind of like an old pink couch cushion with some digital ephemera added. which is cute. And I'm not doing any shading whatsoever to this. I'm just going to let the pattern do its thing. And again, I'm using another Cricut card base. Now I am going to add one of these decals that I have had hanging around for ages from Michaels. They may still sell them, they may not. I don't even know. I personally haven't seen them for a while. But I am just going to add this little swirl of pearls to the bottom. Basically, you move it out from the center so it doesn't bubble up anywhere. There we go. Then I'm going to add my little lady here. I'm going to pop her up on foam tape. Popping her up on foam tape gives that little added bit of dimension. She's going to be our central focus. I'm going to actually bring in a little more of the fruit pink from the dress, actually drawing that in swirl motion into the Baby It's Cold Outside. I feel like as the picked raspberries dried, it became a different hue that didn't match as well with Our Lady in pink. So I'm just going to bring that color, that orangier pink in that there. Now it matches a little bit better. And I will also pop that one up on foam tape. And there is our beautiful third card. For this last one, I am going to use these adorable pink trucks. And I'm going to use this white rubber stamp called Christmas Carol from Maker Forte. And I am just going to ink it up lightly with some frappe. So I'm going to just do light taps randomly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a blending brush and blend over it, because I'm not going to try to get a super dark. I just want a hint of it. Those gentle taps combined with the blending brush ends up smoothing it out. And if I do this the way I think I'm doing it, I'm going to line it up as best as I can with the actual stamp itself. Then using the smusher, we're going to just smush lightly. And there you have a little bit of that hint of musical notes through the paper. I know the paper is busy already, so why would I want to add more busyness? Because I think it's cute when you go in a truck and you're listening to Christmas music. Not that I have a truck, but that's just what it reminds me of, is going down the lane and listening to Christmas music. So I am just going to keep it simple. I'm going to add a little bit of the same color into the Christmas ephemera here. Placing it here. Going to add a couple of the stamps. Blending in a little bit as well. Which will also get a little bit of the white off the edges here, which is helpful. And then these become basically a simple Christmas card, like they're going to go mail all of their Christmas packages, and they need some stamps to go. I don't know, I'm making it up as I go here. And there you have another one that I will just put on this base. The base is cut to the same size as the card front. So really there's no outside lines at all to worry about. Just have to make sure that they're centered to start off with. And I like to tap it on something solid to really make sure that the ends meet up correctly. And there you go. There is the fourth quick and easy Christmas card. And here are the 4 final cards. We have the simple Merry Christmas with the tighter cut ephemera. We've got the Merry and Bright card. The Baby It's Cold Outside. She looks extra cold because she needs a sweater. Especially in Wisconsin this year. It's already cold. And we have the Christmas tree trucks, who this truck is going out to mail some packages. All right, leave a comment down below. Let me know which one of these 4 are your favorites. I will also link the next person in the hop for this kit. The pink Christmas kit is absolutely adorable and available at tailormadecardsforyou.com. I will have the link down below for that as well. Don't forget to drop a like, share, and subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon. I will also have links to our shop. Any of the products we use, feel free to use those links. Who knows, maybe I'll give away one of these today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Don't forget to find the joy in your day, and happy making. Bye! Hi everyone, Bethany here, and welcome to... Welcome to what? I don't know. What am I welcoming you to? It's a prank. Ugh. I need sleep. Hi, baby.
Hi, baby.
Are you eating chips?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Grandma gave you some veggie chips.
That's your hand.
That's my hands. Yeah, you can see it on the screen, huh?
That's Mommy's hand.
Yeah, what is Mommy doing? Do you know what Mama's doing, Danny? Can you describe it to me? What am I doing?
Oh no.
Oh no, you dropped your chip. Hi, baby Ellie.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi, sweet pea. And I'm grabbing my junky scissors. Grabbing my junky scissors, I'm going to cut off. One day I'll get this. I'm going to I'm gonna fart. No, that's not what I was saying. I'm going to pop this up on foam tape again. On camera, so you can actually see it. That would be a great idea. Whew, today's tough. All right. I don't know if you can hear it, but my children are laughing at something. That's just got them tickled pink. Haha. Pink, you get it? Oh my gosh, why aren't people here for my jokes? Seriously. I've got jokes today. Or puns, whatever. Not jokes, puns.